Hello everybody, aka Former, how you doing, man? Welcome in. Oh, hold on, gotta do this. Gotta do it. Let's see. Alright. Switch my category. Cool. I hope everybody is doing well today. We're ready to start here. We're going to paint some of my own minis this morning and afternoon, so I'm going to look at my example mini here. We're going to do gold. Gold. Alright, let's do it. Welcome in. Hopefully you guys are having a good morning so far. Had to make sure I was in the category. Twitch pulls me out of the category because that's what it likes to do. I guess we could probably start large part here. Hey Kodiak, what's going on? How are you doing today? I'm painting some solar auxilia. Working on these guys the past week or so, just when I get like little bits of time, so I figure I finished the one commission, so I'm gonna work on this, and then next week I'm gonna jump into the next commission. So well, getting ready for the rest of the day. Received a Kickstarter pledge. There's lots of dragons to paint. Oh, cool. Where was that from? What Kickstarter? I don't follow Kickstarters a whole lot anymore, but I know like Dungeons and Lasers, like Archon Studios had made a lot of cool like plastic dragons. I actually have one, and I've never assembled it. It's still on the sprue. Hey, Judge Dave, what's going on? Dragon Eclipse. It was on Game Found. I think about it. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, your job to paint it all. Yeah. Welcome. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Not much. All right. This is the one dude that takes a lot longer than everybody else. The gold. Because of his big Vexilla. Did you print that? No. These are plastic minis, the plastic sets. So, I bought a. This is my second big set of I guess a las rifle section of auxilia infantry. I have the first one painted, but I've had these for a little while, so I figured I might as well get to painting them. I think what I'm gonna do, I don't typically do this with monument paints, but I think I'm gonna thin this gold down just a little bit. Metallic paints are always, I guess, usually a little thicker, and there's a lot of like deep areas on this mini. Not a lot. Finished my Exorcist last night. Cool. Oh yeah, that's a dilemma. I have furniture coming in to do kind of like a remodel of my workspace here, so I'm going to be doing the deep clean soon. But yeah, I got to do the deep clean and start moving everything out, basically. Get ready to put in a bunch more shelves and everything. There we go. Yeah, let's drop a flow improver. All this, yeah, this will work really well. Slow down. Yeah, I got a bit greedy during 2020. Yeah, I think when Kickstarter was like first becoming a thing, I was like really into it. Then you kind of realize like you're waiting forever, and a lot of these games will never see like a retail release or get like a following, and it kind of like dampers the excitement for everything when you're like, yeah, I'll get this game and I can show my friends, but that's about it. It's very rare that a game goes on to be successful after Kickstarter, even if it has a really big Kickstarter. 6 feet squirrel, what's up? What's up? I'd love to have more shelving, but I rent. Yeah, I get it. I have been in this house for 13 years or so, and yeah, I did a big upgrade on the room at one point, and it was like right after I started streaming, maybe. But I need more space, so we figured out basically a more efficient way to keep this room, and so we're going to enact the plan. It's one of my 2025 goals was to reorganize, remodel the workroom, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, is there more gold? Take a look. That whole thing is silver. That's silver. I think that's it. Alright. Cool. So one down. What about this middle part? Oh, we'll do this skull and gold here. Excuse me, we'll have one down and 19 to go. Those 19 don't have a big Vexilla on them. Alright. Saving on minis is the only exception. And I have too many. Yeah. Save money, not as much as early Kickstarter. The value's no longer there by release. Yeah, exactly. Yep. An anecdotal experience that I have, kind of a secondhand experience, is someone I know, an acquaintance that I see a lot at my local store playing. He always plays all different kinds of games, always moving between games and stuff. But he apparently went on a Kickstarter for this miniature game that was supposed to be, like the new hotness miniature game. And he went all in on it, like, $1,000 pledge or whatever to get all the miniatures and all the expansions and everything with it. Well, a couple years later, he gets it, and no one's playing it, no one wants to play it, no one cares to play it. So he tries to sell it, and this particular gentleman seems very stubborn with the pricing on his stuff. And so he posts it for $1,000. He's like, yeah, I'm going to sell this whole collection, whole Kickstarter collection, $1,000. And he has a picture of it on like his, I don't know, like his living room, like entryway, just sitting on a table. It's a stack of boxes, like a 6-foot stack of boxes. He's like, yeah, whole thing, $1,000. And it never sells. So about 6 months later, it really was about 6 months later, he reposts. He's like, I'm selling it for $900. Like, lowered the price, $900. And I don't know, 6 months, a year later, he's selling it for $850. Reposted, same picture. Like, doesn't I don't know if it's been sitting on that spot the whole time, but changes the picture, and then he just keeps going. And so it's been $800 to buy this thing for like 3 years now, and no one's ever bought it. I'm like, at what point do you just cut your losses, sell it for $200 and dump it? instead of like trying to get your like retail value or like what you paid out of it, you know. Yeah, that's kind of like my big experience with like Kickstarter. That like my memorable thing. Like I've put in Kickstarters and I have Kickstarter stuff I'm never gonna touch, and like that's typically what happens. You know, I actually did just get in on a Kickstarter though that I am going to use because it's tabs for rulebooks for Horus Heresy, and I got tabs for the Old World core rulebook. So I am excited to use those because I play those games and those tabs look like so useful. So useful flipping through books and stuff. That was a simple one. You know, it was $20. Gonna get them by February, March, and be good to go. That's nice. That's not like some big grandiose, you know, whole new miniature game. Okay. Second one done. Citadel Pain's taking up space. I got a mighty itch to get a bunch of Pro Curls. Yeah, Pro Curls way better, Rokum. Most of my shelving space is Pro Acryl anymore. Yeah, and I am looking forward to what they have coming out this year, because I'll just keep buying what Pro Acryl is coming out, because I definitely use their paints. Even the ones I thought would be like look ridiculous, like a waste of money, like Nova Orange, which I think they say they only sell online, but I went to a new local store and they had it in stock, so I went ahead and bought it. I was like, yeah, well, you know, store's got it in stock, I'll buy it so I don't have to order it online. So I grabbed it, and it's actually, I think, my favorite orange of theirs. It is very unique, even though I don't think it comes across well in the photos. Yeah. Prochrome Scale 75. See, I've never used Scale 75. There's no one around me that sells it. I have no access to it unless I were to start ordering stuff online. Same with like AK Interactive. I do use two AK Interactive products quite a bit. One is their Clear Red, because it's my non-toxic alternative that is color matching to Tamiya Clear Red. Although I don't particularly like it because it reactivates and it has different issues. But I use that, although I have to order it online, and I also use their Ultra Matte varnish, which is not a very good varnish, but it is very matte, which is what I use it for. So I always put it over like a satin varnish or something. Yeah, I've never used Scale 75. Elven Gold and Necro Gold. Yeah, like a Necro Gold sounds good. That'd be a good color to have. A good, like, dead, old gold color. I'm a big fan of that shade of gold. Yeah, there's a Horus Heresy kind of event coming up I'm looking forward to, and the team event. So my teammate's running Solar Auxilia, and he paints his Auxilia as the Prospering Spire Guard, which is the same as mine. We kind of came up with the color scheme together and everything. But I am not sure he will have his Auxilia painted by the time the event comes around. So I figured I would paint what I had, and and if he needs to use some of my men, he can, as long as he gets his tanks painted or something, because I don't have a bunch of tanks. So, all right, just 3 down. Reaper paints and enjoy him. Yeah. I don't have Reaper near me either. Reaper, we used to have stores that stocked Reaper, and they just don't really anymore. Reaper used to be everywhere with their miniatures and everything, and they just don't have the stock near me. I remember Reaper Bones minis like covering the store shelves, just taking up so much real estate. Honestly, I think the Nolzor's stuff really pushed him out from WizKids. Okay, this guy has a lot of extra. So we'll start with this crest. I want to get his pistol as well. Figure out some gold things to do on his pistol. Actually, I don't know if he needs a lot of gold on his pistol. Gold is actually thinning out a little too much. I can't say I've ever used Reaper. Yeah, it was Citadel, Vallejo were my main ones. I used some Army Painter, and then when Procro came out, I bought the base set, and I loved it so much I ended up just selling off the rest of my pretty much all of my GW stuff, and buying the rest of the Monument paints, the rest of the Procro paints that were out at the time. The fact that they're cheaper, they have more paint in them, and they're just higher quality overall makes it a pretty easy decision. Ancient color range system is just black. Yeah. And I remember, like, it's almost like a legacy thing with GW, right? Like, I remember when washes first came out, and when foundation paints first came out. If anybody is old enough to remember the foundation paint lines, and they were a big deal. At least in my, like, before the world was so connected with everything. You read the White Dwarves and you go to your local stores and you talk with your friends, and like foundation paints and washes were a really big deal when they came out. And I think trying to like keep that that kind of like legacy system a little bit with the base paints and the shades and stuff, and like keeping those names and all that, I think that's what they're trying to do. But base paints are not what foundation paints were, though. You don't like the paint? Yeah, most people don't like their paint pots. Yeah. Only us long in the... Don't start with that Space Wolf nonsense. Long in the tooth. Okay, add a little more gold to the mix. Yep, they're just people. That's all they are. Alright. 4 done. Let's get number 5. One thing that's nice about Flow Improver is it works so well. Kind of stretches so far. You use just the tiniest bit of it and it Just changes everything with your paint. Man, speaking of heresy stuff, because that's what I'm talking about, the new Secularis or whatever, the Mechanicum Titan dude, like character, looks amazing. He's not a Titan, he is like a Titan guard, but he's like the HQ for the like Secutarii or something that guard the Titans. That's a great looking commander, and I'm surprised at seeing a non Space Marine HQ. It's weird. Normally these Heresy Thursdays are like just Space Marine HQ days. But very cool looking. I'm also wondering when's the next GW shows off a bunch of minis stream? Because I'm ready to see some big dark Mechanicum previewed. See the new Mechanica model? Can't find anything on it. It's on the community, the Warhammer community. It's the Heresy Thursday thing. See if I can find a link for you. Alright, quarter of the way done with the gold already. It's nice. Whoops. Come on. Oh, you found it. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a good looking mini. You know, resin is meh, but still very cool looking. My experience with the Forge World resin characters, yeah, Secutarii Axiarch. That's what he's called. Yeah. I can't pronounce Mechanicum things. I'm too dumb for that. I was trying to. I was chatting in a group about Horus Heresy stuff, and a newer player playing Mechanicum and just trying to like help him out. And I was like, I don't know how to pronounce any of these words in this whole army list. Like none of it makes sense to me. But man, their stuff is super cool though. I think whenever the Cryos tank, I think is what it's called, the Cryos. It's like their little battle tank. It's like small apparently. I don't know. It's a little guy, but it's like super strong. I think I might be a time to get some Mechanicum stuff. Start that ball rolling. I mean, we'll see how soon that is, but new anthology book. Yeah, the new anthology stuff. And they announced a bunch of other books too that are like immediately post Heresy. Yeah, I think they're gonna move on to like the Scouring. I think that's what they'll do. Which there was a rumor floating around that I don't know if it was a rumor or just like wish listing. I can't remember about rules going into the scouring, like Horus Heresy rules. I'll read an Iron Cage book. Yeah, there you go. That'd be cool. Back belt buckle. I think we're good. Next one. It'd be nice to have another 20 of these. These are my psychic batteries for my army. So when these guys are working for the Thousand Sons, they get the Legional Auxilia rule. And they adopt special rules that interact with the Astartes Legion they're working with. So the rule these guys get basically means whenever my Thousand Sons units suffer perils of the warp, so whenever they fail a psychic check and take wounds from it, they pass it on to the Auxilia instead. But the Auxilia are actually trained to defend against that stuff. So they have a 6-up save against it, which is really cool. Like, that's a little extra thing where the Thousand Sons don't get that save. So not only are they cheaper by a significant amount and not as useful, but they actually have a chance to defend it. Richard Moore, what's going on? How are you doing? Jumping in on YouTube, welcome in. Painting some Auxilia today for the random minis I wanted to paint. So I have a little bit of basing left to do on those incursors I've been painting, but I have to do that later because there's some stuff drying. So wasn't quite able to I'm completely ready for today. We're going to base them. Next week we're going to be doing next commission. It's going to be, there's a lot of Star Wars made. There's some 40k stuff in that lot as well, but a lot of Star Wars Legion, which is awesome. Over here, I think that might be it on this guy. Just get a couple things real quick and rinse our brush. So that reminds me, I got some Skitarii to paint off. Nice, nice. Belisarius needs cannon fodder. Man, I wish, man, the whole like GW separating out their game lines really hurt. It hurt Mechanica more than anything, and the Adeptus Mechanicus, because we could have had like, you know, cool 30k plastic Mechanicum minis with the Adeptus Mechanicus, and vice versa, which is the interesting one because it talks about how there are Skitarii in 30k, but you can't use them in 30k because they're 40k minis, and GW separates that stuff out. They're like all these like vehicles that are in modern like 40k Mechanicum are also in 30k, but none of those are available to be used. It's a real shame. Yeah, and also like if you do ever end up wanting to play 30k, you could probably convince people to let you use the community rule set, the Liber Panoptica stuff, which actually adds in all of the 30k units into Mechanicum, or all the 40k stuff into Mechanicum. So they have rules for everything. Because I think it'd be cool to have like Skitarii and stuff, but you don't have rules. I do like tech thralls. I like the zombies. The zombie servitors I think are great looking. Can proxy. Yeah. The Mechanicum as an army in 30k doesn't have a lot of foot troops though. They're kind of weird on that front. Like, it's a lot of like crazy robots. Cells and trying to support them. Yeah, they'd be stretched thin. Yeah. You got cool stuff though. I was reading up on the rules a bit last night. Like I said, I was talking with someone in a local Discord group. He was asking questions, and I was trying to help him, and I think I was just getting everything wrong. But it gave me an excuse to look at their rules, and they just have so many cool things. Just halfway done with this gold, guys. We're gonna move on to silver, which won't take as long. We have a couple things to paint silver, and I think it's a wash on these guys. We start our highlights. Need a slight break. Oh no, what are you doing?
Look at me!
Oh, okay. What you got? Where am I looking? What am I looking for? Finished mini. All right. Let me get a drink of water while I'm doing that too. Yeah. All right. All right. Nice. Giant pipe organ gun. It's so crazy looking. That's great though. Probably the most fun weapon to use in 40k. All right, I'll hydrate and stretch. Yep. Oh man, yeah, the Exorcist looks really cool. Good flame effects. Just so many details on here. Yeah, looks great. And you have your Celestine and her, are they Seraphim? Is that what you call them? Her, like, bodyguards? Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I agree. It's amazing. I have never had the pleasure of painting one of those. I said the only Sororitas tank I've painted is a Castigator. And that was a couple years ago. The Gemini Superior, okay. Shows you how much I know. Took about 20 hours, dang, okay, yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on, so makes sense. Hey, Fuegan, what's going on? Yeah. That is like the downfall to painting Sororitas, is just all the little, like, minute details on everything. Like, it looks great, but it's horrible to paint. Keep moving. Halfway done with these guys, with the gold on them. Hero version of Chaos Trim, yeah. The Sisters of Battle, and then Rabute Gilliman literally wears Chaos armor. I don't think I can be convinced otherwise. So, what do you guys think about them Eldar leaks? Seems to me, if I had to get, I reading about the Yanari and the Harlequin rules, they don't seem very good, honestly. But the army rule, like the faction rule, looks really good for Eldar. Like broken, it just gives them 4 extra CP a battle round. It's crazy, crazy good. Uh, Functionally gives them 4 extra CP. But I think a lot of the units got nerfed and are just not as good, which I think is fine. Like there's some good combos and stuff from the little bit that have leaked, but it's nothing as like wildly insane as when Eldar came out in 10th when they first started showing rules. Uh, so yeah, I think I would be cool with an army being carried by its army rule and not so much its unit rules. If there isn't some crazy broken unit that comes up. Yeah, warp spiders look pretty good. I don't know if they look like amazing. I know in order to use their jump ability, like there's a 1 in 6 that they die. Um, they're still only like toughness 3, 1 wound. They're not great at any particular thing except like destroying light infantry, which I don't know if armies actually need that. Like everybody kind of comes with light infantry destroying fools, so kind of tough to justify, but they do look cool. New ad mini looks dope. Yeah. They do. It does look really good, Gosu. I agree. I'm trying to finish these 20 minis because I want to free up miniature holders. Put more minis on them. That's what I need to do. These guys will get painted. I think I'll do their bases real quick when they're done, and then I'm going to put all those next commission job on these. I also have my militia that finally got handles they were put on due to me finishing those incursors. I have to get those painted by the end of the month to continue with my my hobby goal. Nice call with VA Patient Care Advocate. I'm in full-blown salty veteran. That sucks. That sucks. Hopefully it gets resolved quick, whatever the issue is. It's finally starting to warm up a little bit here. At like sub-zero temperatures. I don't think I got to tell you guys, last Thursday, I probably forgot about it by Sunday, but last Thursday, Painting Son had his had fencing practice. And for those of you that don't know, Painting Son, we signed him up for fencing. He's 8 years old. This past November, and he's been really enjoying it. And he has his first tournament. It's like an intro tournament for kids coming up, and at their club or whatever. So it's a small tournament, but it is a tournament. And he wanted to compete, so he signed up for it. And so he's been, practicing and everything. And this past week at his practice, they actually did like real sparring with other kids. The only thing is they didn't have him hooked up to like the electronic system or whatever that tracks points and stuff. But he was sparring, so he did 3 different spars with kids, and they basically just fence until someone gets to 5 points. And so first time ever doing anything like that, really. And so first 2 kids he sparred with, he scored 4 points, they scored 5, and the third kid he beat like 5-3. So it was really cool. It was fun watching him actually get into it, because he's been like very timid at practice. He's not like one to jump at the opportunity to do everything, and like he's really quiet and very cautious overall. And once he gets in that match, he kind of been going ham, which is great. I see the kid I've been lightsaber battling with since he was like 2 years old kind of comes out when he's actually in a match. Hey, Raja, what's going on? Troy, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. How you doing, Troy? On YouTube. On the work alert today? Yeah, I get it. more. 6 more. 2 of the armatures built yesterday and the weapons built and magnetized. Nice. Armatures look cool. I have never had the pleasure of building or painting one, but they do look cool. They don't look too difficult to paint either. You can kind of make it what you want, but... Try some noosh on them? Nice. Nice. Yeah, test it on a separate mini first. And just know your ratio of paint to noosh makes a huge difference on the look of the mini. So... It's perfectly acceptable to have a different scheme for each one. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I really have fun and like play with it too. I was thinking about the other day, like color schemes for armies, and I think having, say like doing a Space Marine army, I think it's totally acceptable to have a different color scheme for each squad in your Space Marine army. You know, I think most of the time when we see Space Marines in like media, it's like, you know, a squad from the Salamanders chapter and a squad from the Ultramarines and like some Marines from the Imperial Fists like join in, and like that happens so much. I feel like that's more than appropriate to do for an army. I think that would be really cool too. Like, you know, we have the Eradicators from the Salamanders are joining in on this, like, you know, planetary action or whatever. Ivory and Jade, that's cool. LED fits to Inceptors since those mounting brackets are quite nice. Nice, alright. Putting LEDs and Inceptors. That's crazy, Troy. That's really cool, though. Really cool. I think something I need to do with Noosh to test it is to try it over a gloss varnish. I want to see if that affects anything. Because they do recommend you varnish your minis first, which I can tell you from experience you don't have to. You want to give it a lot of time to set though, after you put it on. And even then it kind of leaves a weird texture on your minis when it dries. But definitely something you'll want to like varnish your miniatures afterward. How so? What's the question in relation to? Like, how does it leave a weird texture? It just, like, if that's your question, it just feels a little different. Not like tacky or sticky, but just like it feels like there's something there. And it makes me really nervous that I'm gonna rub off, you know, paint or something afterwards. I have not rubbed off paint after I put Noosh on my minis even though I didn't varnish them before or immediately after. Four more. Yeah, also use it in stages. Pick a section of the mini, like a leg, put noosh on, and then wipe it off. Like if you let it sit too long, my experience is like it dries way too much. You know, maybe I was just using too much paint. My ratio was just off or something, but some other mini realize you don't like and can't take it off. Yeah. Yeah, I am a big fan of putting on it and wiping off like almost immediately. So I'll put it on like a track section of a tank and then like wipe it off the track, and then I'll do the next area. It's also really messy, so just be prepared. I haven't yet tried it with makeup sponges, but I did buy a pack of makeup sponges for the next time I used the noosh to try it. But I had been using paper towels, and paper towels work pretty well because it's basically like form fits your finger, and like fingers are probably the best thing to use, even though it's so messy. But it's paper towels get messy and they can leave fibers behind. Okay, three more. We got the Vox guy. Yeah, makeup sponges are good for it. You can buy a bunch of makeup sponges online for really cheap. The ratio is something you have to play around with, but I have found you need a lot more noosh than paint. So if you're saying 1:20 like paint to noosh, then that's probably pretty close to what you want. I think Artis Opus did like a tutorial review experimenting thing with him, and that was really informative. That was when I was finally like, yeah, okay, I need this product, and like I want to try it, because he went through and like tested all different kinds of things. See how useful it could be. Yeah, very little paint. And darker colors than you would think. Bunch of bases with it, let them dry in various degrees. Yeah, yeah. Okay, just need to do his rifle. Eyeshadow applicators greater than Q-tips. Yeah, the eyeshadow applicators are good. Yeah, makeup sponges, little triangle like spongy makeup things. What's up, Spill Paint Pot? Because they won't leave residue or fibers behind. Just these little like sponges. A sponge on a stick. Yeah, yeah. There you go. I think I got like 200 or 300 makeup sponges for like $10. Mine aren't so fancy to come with sticks, but they're useful. Oh, and then last one for the gold base coat. Be a great weekend project to finish these. Finish up those incursors. Assemble all those other minis for the next job. Be good. Last gold here, so we'll see what we can get done. Hour and a half for just the gold's not bad. Do our silver and our wash, and we'll see what else we can manage. Hey, Intorn, welcome. Welcome in. How are you doing? Painting some solar auxilia today. how far we can get with these. This is our last one. We got 20 of them in the las rifle section to paint. This is our last one to put gold on as its base color. And we're gonna move over to silver, and then we'll be like a little brown color. I think I'll be doing like brown gray or something. And then we'll put a wash on, and we'll see what our time is, see how long I think it'll take to dry. We might do something else in the meantime, or figure it out. Hut Armories, welcome. Looking at the Yannari changes, yeah. So I'm not like super familiar with the Yannari as like rules for a faction, but the Yannari detachment and the Harlequin detachment don't look like anything spectacular. I mean, they're still using the Eldar faction rule, which is like stupid, insane, potentially broken. So I don't feel like they need a strong detachment rule, but let's make sure I got all of these rear plates here. Nope, didn't get you. Let's go ahead and get that. What's up, Mydro? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a good Thursday. Trying to make sure I'm not missing stuff. You. Not you. Alright, I missed the second one. Dang. Eldars are okay. You could not take Phoenix Lords, yeah, which would make sense. I don't think you can take Phoenix Lords in the new ones, right? You can't take any like epic heroes aside from like the 3. Or maybe you can. I don't know. I guess I didn't read it close enough. Could very well be mistaken there. Okay. 20 of them with their gold on. Let's get the silver. I do 2 parts silver, 1 part dark silver. That's my mid-tone. I think we'll do this in kind of 2 stages. We'll start with their backpack. Kind of these more simple areas, then we'll do their rifle. And I think it's just backpack and rifle are the only 2, but we can switch to a smaller brush to do the rifle. Make it a little easier. Epic heroes can't take the Yannari keyword. Do they have to have the Yannari keyword to be in the Yannari detachment, or no? No, okay. Oh, well, that's cool. Alright. So we have this guy here. Any grenades on him? There's also like someone have like binoculars. And then 1, 2, 3. That's the Vox guy. So that's a little different. And then the little speaker here. I'm assuming it's a flashlight. Like I said, we'll come back. We'll get the rifle later. So we're up on that. It's all the way up. Okay. We have that coil pattern there. They just don't get the benefits, okay. Yeah, I think I was more interested in seeing the Harlequin rules. I really like Harlequins. And I don't know, their rules they're nothing special. But again, I don't think they need to be just because the Eldar army rule is so good. Phoenix lore is super lame. Excuse me. Oh, Jane Zar was a major player with like the Yanari. Cool. I don't think I was paying attention to Warhammer during like the Psychic Awakening stuff. I don't know if it's a canteen. It looks like a canteen. Suit of void armor, but the dude still needs a canteen. Or maybe they're binoculars, I don't know. So you cannot use Phoenix Lords, yeah. Stipulation course, you've reigned. Yeah, they have to be in the army, yeah. Which I don't like. I don't like when they have a whole faction, and the only way to use the faction is to have that specific person as like the leader to it. Because like you should be able to, you know, like Yvrain isn't with every single bit of like Yanari troops, right? They don't just run around as one big blob, or do they? Or is that how they operate? Like they're just all always together, and they never like make smaller forces to go do stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, they do it with Space Marines, and GW's always done this with their characters and stuff, but it's, you know, it'd be nice if you could say, like, hey, you can say you're running Salamanders, and with Salamanders, you know, you say these units, this particular unit gets extra OC, but you can't take any character, any epic heroes, or anything that have, you know, not the Salamanders keyword. I don't like tying whole armies to special characters. That's it for that. Silver on this guy. Again, we'll come back and paint the rifles later. Just Eldar Hadwer Hay. So now specific unit can only take 2 of, and take that away, so good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 10th edition in a nutshell, and Eldar have been super good anyway. Again, I personally think the Eldar faction rule from their codex is like broken. It's busted. It's so much better than every other faction rule in the game. That Eldar doesn't they don't need amazing unit rules to make their army really good. Because you just get 4 free CP a turn to do things like stopping Overwatch, which is a crazy good like stratagem, and you don't even pay real CP for it. Like that's enough to take like the most mediocre rules from the detachments and make them usable and good. Yes, like I see a lot of their units are like nerfed with things, which is, is what it is. Eldar have been super good anyway, but like then it just like doesn't matter because their actual rules are super good. Army rules. Ability fire pack. Yeah. Unit rules are boring. That's 10th edition, though, man. That's. Because it's easier to balance that aspect. That's what people clamor for, so. Grenades on that guy, that's cool. Yeah. It's probably easier for GW to correct a detachment rule that's way too good than to fix a bunch of units. I could see that why they gave them, or like a faction rule. They can adjust the faction rule pretty easily. But yeah, when you have a bunch of units that all have good abilities like Eldar were at the beginning of the edition, we just kept nerfing units, but people were just like, all right, I'll just use the next thing that's broken, and they kept doing it. Just easier for GW to be like, all right, well, the faction rule is really good, the units aren't great, they're still too strong, so let's just change up the faction rule a little bit. Let's tone it down, give fewer points or fewer abilities or whatever they can use them on. I'm curious to see the rest of the book. The rest of the book to all leak, but that'll probably be, it might be today or tomorrow. Probably more stuff today, and then just about everything else tomorrow, I imagine. Arrow made you lose fate dice? Really? Oh, interesting. I had not played against Eldar in 10th edition. You reroll each turn. Oh, okay. Huh. Silver's going a lot faster. It's nice. Get the wash on these guys. I don't know if I'll be able to start highlights today. We'll see. It depends on how fast that wash dries. I'm not counting on it though. Alright, move these guys over. gonna get the sergeant's press here after our wash. We'll kind of make that its own thing, but I think this squad, the two colors, the first one was blue and white, this one I think is going to be green and purple. It'll be the sergeant and the vexilla. We'll use the different colors. The other troops I won't bother using different colors because just join anywhere. Yeah, they're battle line. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I'd like to see the Harlequin rules. I want to see how they work with the the detachment, the Drukari detachment, the Reaper's Wager. That one looks like fun. Yeah, move through units. Yeah, I mean it's fine. Yeah. Again, I think it follows that trend of like the very timid army or detachment rules, because the faction rule is so good. A little harder to screen them, and you get more minis like engaged, right? It could be a disadvantage though if you're trying to really like mess with your positioning to like prevent units from having to like get in base to base to like manipulate your movement to stay on an objective or something. So I can see that as a disadvantage in some situations based on how I kind of see like higher level players playing the game. Okay, last one. He doesn't have anything extra on his banner. Okay. Get his weapons. If this brush is a good size for it. That rifle. Got me all hyped for Eldar. Vacation on Saturday, so I'll have to wait. That's alright. They'll be here when you get back. Ain't how long your vacation takes. Welcome back, Gosu. Yeah, so we were talking about some of the leaks. Um, I don't know if anything else has leaked since I started streaming, but I saw this morning there was a couple more things that leaked, and I was kind of checking out some of the stuff. But um, yeah, I was just chatting about it with Centaur here. Basically, I feel like the Eldar like faction rule is completely broken. And
first of all, let me take just a moment to thank
I
you.
think the writers partially know that. What's up, Skyhawk? Thank you for the follow. Welcome in, man. And so a lot of the units got nerfs, and I think the the like whole Strains of Fate detachment they previewed looks insane also, but like some of the detachments look a little more tame. And I think that's on purpose because the army rule is so good. So I think they're like, I guess going really heavy into the battle focus rule and then kind of nerfing units and like mellowing out the units themselves. But they still take advantage of that rule, so you still get like all the good stuff. It's just spread across the whole army. Hey, I am painting Solar Auxilia. These are my Prospering Spire Guard that hang out with my my Thousand Suns Legion for the Horus Heresy game. Are you in the hobby, Skyhawk? What kind of stuff you into? The dice are back. It's just funny. Yeah. I think they said they were going to do that, right? They said they were going to they're doing away with Fate dice and they were going to put it in a detachment. But now Fate dice from that detachment stacked on top of the battle focus rule just gets insane. They give him an ability to generate more dice. Yeah, he might have to be. Yeah. I don't think he will. I don't think he'll straight up have the ability to do that because that only messes with one detachment. So I think his ability will be something different. All those units that generate Fate dice and manipulate Fate dice, they're not going to have those abilities anymore. At least that's my prediction. Not sure what to paint this pistol here. War games me and my grandson. I make my own war games, sci-fi vehicles, 3D printed for me and my grandsons for gaming. Oh, cool. Xenos Rampant, nice. Is it like a war game or like a skirmish game, or what kind of game is it? How would you describe your game you made? That's really cool. Yeah, we definitely do a lot of printing here, and I paint a ton of minis, so. Just putting base colors on these guys at the moment. That's good. Good for him. Alright. Sprints. Skirmish or mass battle. That's cool. You play with your grandson. That's awesome. Me and my son like to play mini games too. We play a lot of board games, but we have a 40k game set up right now that we're kind of in the middle in. He's only 8, so we're playing with little simplified rules, but wanted to learn how to play 40k, so that's what we're doing. Your grandson's 8? Oh, nice.
First of all, let
It's
me
a
take
fun
just a
age.
moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
He's like just coming into his own with everything. And thank you for the subscriber, or the sub on YouTube. Wherever it is, your name might pop up here in a minute. Restream's really slow with YouTube notifications, but say hi if you want. Let me know what kind of hobbies you're into and everything. It'd be great to chat. Yeah, we were talking yesterday or Tuesday about kind of my thoughts on collecting like 40K anymore and how it's become like a impossibility in some ways. Especially if you want to play with like a local group, or if you want to like try to like get better at the game. Not that we have to be good at the games we play, or play competitive or do anything like that, but if you want to play in a group or a tournament or a league or something, like the bar to get into the game is so high, mainly because of how quick the rules change and the state of the game changes, that it's impossible to like my old way of playing on army when I was younger, even like a kid, and I was like getting into Warhammer Fantasy. I'm like, man, I really want Wood Elves. What I would do is I bought the army book and like a unit, and I painted it, and I was like, awesome, okay, I got my Glade Guard painted. And then I was like, well, what do I want next? I can't buy everything. I'm 16 or whatever. I don't have the money to buy everything. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out like a 2,000 point army list. And then I'm going to try to like collect minis until I like achieve that 2,000 point army. It might take a couple years or whatever, but I'll do it slowly. I'll buy a couple minis at a time, and we'll get there. We'll paint everything and do all that. And so you do that. You can't do that anymore, since the game changes so fast. And it's not just like what's good changes, it's like the actual points values of everything changes. So you can't like make an army, plan out an army, and stick with the plan. I don't think that's good for the game. That's so cool that you wrote a rule set for you and your grandson. Getting the silvers on these minis. We're finishing it up with the silvers on all the rifles. We're gonna do one more. What's the color I want? We're gonna do brown gray on just. There's a couple pouches on their belts that I missed. We're gonna go through and do that, and then we're gonna put a brown wash on everybody. Which is all over. Brown wash, and then we work up our highlights from there. My son has a ton of 3D printed minis that he has yet to paint. But it's nice because if I print something for like an army of mine, I don't care to keep it. I can give it to him and he'll paint it. He'll normally be pretty excited to paint something or to have something. So What's up? Three geese in a trench coat. How you doing?
First of all, let me take
Welcome
just
back.
a moment to thank you for
It
allowing
needs
me
plastic.
back into your home.
Nice. I love that name. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. All right, doing chores with Stream as company. Nice, nice. You do what you gotta do. Everybody is staying warm or out of inclement weather at least. Took ages choosing it. Man, it's great. It's great though. Gets the point across real quick. I basically chose my name as like a filler, and it just kind of stuck. So. Just painting up some solar auxilia today. Kind of my Thursday stream trend here is painting commissions the first part of the week, finish the commission, and then paint the fun stuff on Thursday. Try not make too many mistakes, so I can get right into highlighting. Hey, what's up, Zen? Off work for the day? Driving home. Okay, okay. Everybody, now is your time to talk poorly of Zendral. Can't do anything about it. Yeah, we're just chilling and painting. Let's see. Oh yeah, a bunch of stuff leaked. A bunch more stuff. Let's see, the full Harlequin detachment leaked. Harlequin troop. All right, what's new about the Harlequin troop? Let's see. They have the Dance of Death. They select a dance every round of fight phase. Every fight phase. Reroll hit rolls a 1. Reroll or add 1 to the wound roll. That's good. Subtract 1 from the hit roll against them. And they ignore vertical distances when they move. Are their weapons any good? Pistol's good. Arrow disruptors, actually. Yeah, they got some good stuff. Yeah, yeah. Don't make me come over there. No. Five attacks with devastating wounds. That's cool. And even the power sword has dev wounds. That's actually pretty good. Man, that's a cool squad. All right. You're just fishing for dev wounds on a squad with 5 attacks each. Have to look at their detachment a little bit, but yeah, all that stuff is all leaking. All the full information on everything. The Harlequins really interest me because I could use them with Drukhari if I were to play that. I could do the Reaper's Wager detachment. It's cool because I already have painted Harlequins that haven't seen the table since like 2012. Whoever's leaking these rules for this book is they're being infuriating. Just leaking like 2 or 3 pages at a time. Is that okay? Whoa. Who's doing what now? People are leaking information. They're just doing it slow for the new Eldar Codex. That's all. Not the end of the world. I've been Harlequins in over a decade. Might be time to finish mine up. Yeah. People get stuff early all the time. Yeah, with everything. It's like content creators, or sometimes it's stores. I think this one, it's like some content creator just keeps themselves anonymous. Since they go up for pre-order on Saturday, they give all these content creators enough time to like make a video about it. All right, Lord of Check. Have a good one. Yeah, I really like the Harlequin minis though. Like they're solid looking minis. Shove sells them as soon as they get it. Get the Blood Angels box 2 weeks before it launched. That's crazy. They just don't care. It's 5 more. And overall, these colors have gone by pretty quick today, so it's good. Feels good getting almost all these base colors on though. Always the least enjoyable step. It'd be really nice I could finish these this weekend. You know, maybe I'll like prime their bases tonight or something, just try to get started on some different things. Actually, no, I need stands for their bases first. I can't prime their bases first. My goal with these minis are minimal touch-ups and 1 coat on everything. So far I've achieved that. Trying to just use paints that I know will cover in one coat. It's going to require multiple coats, then I try to rely on a wash and highlight. Fix that issue. TPD special. You blink and the squad is painted. Man, I wish. Wish. It's my way to enrage every like high-level painter out there. They're like too thin coats, and like, no. Okay, last one for the silver. Alright. We got the silver. Nice. Or a high-level painter. I can be. I can be a high-level painter. Okay. I just have some brown gray. What I'm looking for is these little pouches on their left legs. I think it's 4 of them have this pouch. We're gonna look and see who has the pouch. Paint that because that was something I had missed. There's number 2. Top edge there. last two. All right, number 4. Cool. I think something I want to do here. Let's look at our other Vexilia. I'm gonna do these like accent colors afterwards. So we're gonna wash this mini. So you see, I don't have any of the Vexilla painted. So we're gonna do that afterward. But start on these guys here, and I'm going to get some Army Painter Strong Tone because it's cheap. See if that's enough. We'll start with, let's see. We don't need a giant brush. We'll use a big brush though. Right? We're washing the whole mini. What areas I really want to make sure I get little crevices that are hard to notice at first glance. Be completely noticeable. I feel like once you see it, it becomes impossible not to see it. So I'm going to channel that energy in how I wash these minis. Don't be on the lookout for any like crazy pooling or anything, but that is a Solar Auxilia mini shaded. 19 to go. One thing I had in the original color scheme with these was to wash all the gold with a flesh wash after this brown wash, and I don't know if I like that. I did that with the tanks to start, and then I changed it to just like the brown wash on the tanks, and I kind of like it with the just the brown wash on the gold for these minis. So this is Army Painter Strong Tone. I'm normally not a big fan of Army Painter, but the Strong Tone I think works better than Agrax Earthshade anymore, and it's significantly cheaper. So I'll buy 3 or 4 bottles of Strong Tone and just have it for a while to use. So it's much more of a black than a brown. But that's alright. Slightly different shade than Agrax, but it's good though. And we're not worried about the crest yet, because we'll get that. And this squad's colors are going to be purple and green. We already had the blue and white squad, so we're trying to change up the different colors on the Sergeant and the Vexilla. I think I've learned when I'm putting a lot of shade on a mini. Already? A fan of the quick shades, yeah. Those are the dips, right? Is that what you're talking about, the quick shades? I've never used the dips before. But, what was I saying? Oh, way I apply shade, especially if I'm putting shade on like a whole mini, like a wash on a whole mini. I like to dab instead of like wiping the brush across the mini, partly because these minis aren't like, they're not on these holders super strong, so the dab doesn't like move around on it as much. I feel like it's easier to distribute the paint that way. You're not like knocking your mini around or wiping paint places, and you're making sure the paint gets into the crevices when you're kind of doing that little jabby motion, little stippling motion. Behind their head and in front of their shoulder pad, the like back neck piece, is an important part to shade. It's very noticeable if it doesn't get it. Seem to make sure I get plenty on there in that back area, and it's fine if there's like a little too much back there because it's not a place I'm going to be able to highlight. So most no army painter paints, but I love their shades and tools. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the tools they have. I've had clippers from them, and they're the only clippers I've ever had that have just straight up broken. But yeah, I use their like the grass tufts, and at least their brown wash. I use their brown wash. I like the Pro Acryl washes, but the Pro Acryl brown wash is very brown and it's very light and like weak as far as a wash goes. I think we're all kind of like, we know we need something like the Agrax Earthshade. It definitely fills a niche or whatever. And the Army Painter stuff is a lot closer to that than mixing a couple Pro Acryl washes. Yeah, we need a drink of water. Oh yeah, I guess they are rebranded to washes. So yeah, my bad. I don't know the Army Painter naming scheme for things. We can just load it down with wash too. That's the thing. You just spread it out. Shades are a little thicker than other brands. Tends to stick to recesses better. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, like I said, I like their I like this strong tone. So I started using this strong tone when they officially like rebranded and released their like Fanatic or whatever. And my local store put all of their 1.0 stuff, their like classic stuff, on clearance. So I bought, I think, 5 bottles of Strong Tone because I was running low on Agrax Earthshade anyway, and I was like, well, I'll get this stuff, and it was all half price, so it was like less than $2 a bottle. So I grabbed that and ended up using it on my like Auxilia army and other things that like I just ended up using all of it. So chat. I figured you would have done something other than red next. You're a glutton for. I know. I'm always painting red. Yeah. It's my burden. What's up, Hetzer? I have a few things to finish up on your minis. I gotta do off stream, but essentially done. Early next week I'll get them out to you. No worries, not time. Yeah. I get it. But hey, if I'm done with it, I'm going to send it out. So. Alright, Mr. Big Vexilla here. You varnish these commissions, or is it by custom? I almost always varnish minis. If someone specifically asked me not to varnish them, I would not varnish them, but I can't recall someone ever asking that. Typically, the minis I paint for people are, it's like 99% of the time, it's so people can play a game with them. And if you're playing games with your minis, like, it's just better to have your minis varnished. I am blessed with good clients that normally just kind of trust me with how I do things, so I'll figure out if it needs if a matte varnish or a satin varnish or something works best on the mini. Try to use my better judgment with that. What do you use for varnish? Curious if you have a favorite acrylic or lacquer. So, yeah, this is a strong tone over rich gold. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I normally use like Liquitex for varnish. Either their, what is it? Hold on, their basics. Yeah, this is a gloss varnish I just got. Their basics, or they have a professional one. Like the satin varnish they only have available in the professional, which is more expensive, but it's nice. I'm not totally sure the difference on them, but... And I push them through an airbrush. So that's the best way I've found to use them. Typically, if I'm just looking for like the matte effect, so for example, my Thousand Suns, I put a satin varnish on my Thousand Suns minis, but I'll put a matte varnish over things that aren't metal or their specific red armor. And the matte varnish I use for that is the AK Interactive, their ultra matte varnish. I won't use that ultra matte varnish on its own as a varnish because it's a terrible varnish. It doesn't actually act as a varnish. It's more just like an ultra matte medium, like with some, like, you know, there's too much like cloudy particles in there or whatever that make it matte. So it doesn't work amazing as a varnish, but it works great as a matte cover. Yeah, I have Liquitex inks that are nice, and yeah, the Liquitex varnishes are fine. I've used them for years. I'm actually on my second or third bottle of Liquitex matte varnish. Like that big bottle, was that like 100 mil or something? 250 mil, not 100 mil. It's 250 mil. My second or third bottle of it. I can't remember, but mixed result with acrylic base. Yeah. AK varnishes offer, yeah, they have good finishes. Yeah, the AK varnishes are good for a finish, but that's about it. If you're doing chipping, like chipping is typically like you put a gloss varnish on the mini, right? The thing about varnishes is they can cancel each other out. You can always cover one with another and get the effect you want. So my anecdotal experience with that is, again, my Thousand Suns. It's the most like playing with varnishes I do. And what I do with him is I put on the clear paint over a metallic through the airbrush, and it's very glossy finish. But I learned with the Tamiya, paint doesn't stick to the glossy finish, so you have to put a matte varnish over it. So I'd cover it with a matte varnish. Then I would paint the whole mini, and then I would put the satin varnish back over top, and it brings it right back to where it was with that nice satin finish. And then I would cover up, you know, the extra cloth or like the non-satin parts with a matte varnish, like that ultra matte. Now, since I use the AK clears, they reactivate. So the way to prevent that is to cover the mini with a gloss varnish, because matte varnishes won't cover up or won't prevent the reactivation. So I have to cover them with a gloss varnish, and then I cover them with a matte varnish to make them paintable. So just more and more steps. We just sent me the full Eldar Codex. Nice. I just saw a bunch more stuff had leaked since I was streaming. So I just saw like the Eldar or the Harlequin datasheet. That looked pretty cool. I think they actually improved it some, which is what interests me the most about that codex, because I have a painted squad of Harlequins and the characters, and I play Dark Eldar or Drukhari or whatever, so I want to use that new detachment. It'd be cool. Like gloss for doing enamel pin wash and scale models. Yeah. The gloss definitely helps the paint flow a lot easier. Yeah, I don't do like enamels or anything, or very rarely have I done enamels or oils. Gosu is the one that has done a ton with that, though. The award-winning painter Go Sucked. But yeah, I haven't tried that Liquitex gloss varnish yet, so I'll be trying that soon. Floor polish, yeah, there you go. Yep, yeah. Like Pine Sol, right? Isn't Pine Sol like the thing? More strong tone. We're halfway done. Yep. Go Sucked, the award-winning painter from Nova, right? Was that Nova last year? You got your trophies? Yeah, pledge, or yeah, that kind of stuff. Someone sent that to me. It was Pine Sol they sent me. They put it in a little dropper bottle, and it was kind of an annoying commission because they had all these like little stipulations and stuff. Normally people are like, yeah, paint them these colors, cool, like just get them to me. This guy's like, I want you to do this and use this specific color, and I do this process, and you need to put this on the minis. But he was like, put Pine Sol on the minis when you're done, and then matte varnish them. And I was like, okay, sure. So he sent me a little bottle of Pine Sol. The guy was cool though. He sent me all kinds of stuff to like help work on the minis, but very demanding. These minis are my own, so I can do whatever I want. Reactivating through acrylic varnish. You got to use a gloss varnish. Yeah, gloss varnish should stop the reactivation. That's been my experience, even if it's like an acrylic wash. If you're just using a matte varnish, it won't stop the reactivation. Like you'll reactivate through a matte varnish. Which is awesome because it was cheap, but stuff like Tamiya clear gloss is far superior. Yeah, yep. Hey man, we spend enough money on the actual minis. All right, we can find other ways to save money. Tamiya gloss varnish is the best, really. Tamiya has some most like interesting products. They have like some really good stuff, and then they make this stuff that's like so niche. Like I don't see how anyone would ever use this product like in an actual like practical application. It's very Japanese, making like 1,000 little niche products, right? Very specific uses. Over 7 more, almost there. Yeah, it's like Gunpla stuff. But even then, it's like I remember I watched a video. It was like a Ninjon video a while ago when he like has his own channel and he was putting out more content and all this. He's doing all these things. Well, either Mr. Hobby or Tamiya, which I always just see as like the same company, but I'm sure they're different. They sent him like a goodie box to like review. You know, he's like, oh, cool. You know, I get to see all these things and to review these things. And he's going through these products, and it's like a wet palette that you put on your thumb, but it's just a little metal plate with a little sponge that fits on there. Like it doesn't even like slot into anything. And he's like, yeah, this is like kind of cool, but like the sponge dries out immediately, and yeah, like it's not. I don't see how someone would practically use this. Just like it was just a bunch of little things like that, like makeup sponges, but they were like their brand, and it was they were like significantly more expensive. Like little one-use like wipes to like clean up paint. Best spraying acrylics, yeah. Yeah, I've had my fill of lacquer products. Mess with those anymore. I like the smell of Tamiya paints. Yeah, don't do that. Etzer's made his choice. Smell of 90s GW paint, man. I still have like chestnut ink. That smell. That's the classic GW paint smell. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Open up those paints for the first time. Having that old paint smell. No, you're always serious, man. You're always serious. Rock tumbler for 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, put GW Maze in a rock tumbler so that the detail goes away a little bit. It's not a bad idea. One of the things I thought was funny, I was, I'm painting these Solar Auxilia, and I like these minis a lot. I think they're really cool. There is nothing dynamic about these minis. They all just are kind of standing there with, like, the rifle in both hands. And it's... Of all the minis to have a little bit of, like, dynamic posing, like, these would have been great minis to do that with. Because you have so many of them, I feel like. And they're like people, you know? And I know they kind of, like, move slower or whatever because they got, like, heavy armor on, but... Man... It's gonna be nice to have some more poses on these minis, but it's like all that detail, and there's like no variety. These minis, they have like interchangeable arms and stuff, but again, you make dynamic minis with easily interchangeable arms. Like make their legs a little more maneuverable. Like give them some different arm choices. I don't know. The bolt gun metal smell? Yeah, man, bolt gun metal is one of my favorite colors. That was a great color. Yeah. Chestnut ink was always the one that stood out to me. Like all of their inks, really, but chestnut ink was the one. What I found was snakebite leather, not the old one, but the contrast color. It uses the same pigment or something. It's the same color as chestnut ink. It has the same smell. Not quite as strong, but it does have the same smell. Smell of certain Vallejo paints, yeah. Oh, yeah. Minis, I'll need to put down a little more wash. All of these colors are going to get highlights. Probably not today, though. Give them some time to dry. I can smell the pigment in the paint, that's right. Yosu, if you were in the hobby back in the day, you would understand. Like those smells are like imprinted on your brain. Those paint smells. I opened up snakebite leather and I was like, this is chestnut ink. the first time. I didn't have to see it on a Mini at all. Everybody's like, it's good leather color. It's not. It's terrible leather color, but Notes of Micah VOCs in Red 342. Like a wine connoisseur, you know, but just tasting and smelling paint. You guys watch that the art history lady on YouTube? It's like shorts, and she'll get like super toxic paint and like talk about the history of the paint and why it's like banned or whatever and why it's super toxic. It's cool. Really fascinating like channel and videos. Yeah, a little cadmium. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, last one for the wash. Yeah, the arsenic green paint. Or she'll go through like random like yellows made out of like cow pee and all like cow urine and all this stuff. Like this, the weirdest colors. All right. That's the color. Yeah, it's Imperial Fist color. How'd the Patreon stream go? I chilled by myself for an hour and then kind of turned it off. That's what happened. I was doing some hobbying. I think people were busy. Other people were busy. That's what I get for having it on the not usual time. It was last night, per all the announcements. Yeah. We're gonna try it Monday at like 1 or 2 again. Or noon. We're gonna try it Monday at noon. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah. So, did you get any pings? Do you get pings when I tag like here in the Patreon chat? I assume you would, but maybe I just need to like tag each individual like role or something. First piece of home printed armor. It's different for sure. Oh, cool. All right. Oh, you printed that? Wow, that's cool. What kind of where'd you get that STL? Yeah, there's a Patreon text channel. If you're a member of the Patreon, go. So you've posted in there before. Maybe? Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe you haven't. Yeah, if you're a member of the Patreon, you connected your connected to Discord. You should be in the Patreon channel. Yeah. Hetzer, where did you get this this STL here? I don't see the channel. Factory. You don't have to send it to me. I was just curious. It looks really good. And like you're, man, you're an incredible painter. Like good, like model painting techniques. It's good. What kind of tank is that going to be for? Is that like a repulsor or like a gladiator or something? All right, let's take a look. Wash is still drying. Just around there, yeah. Yes, we're getting good stuff here. I think if I could do one more thing, I don't think I'll be able to do that. I think we're kind of stuck waiting for these 20 to dry. They're eventually going to look something like this. This is the final goal. Where they are with the wash, but got highlights on all the colors. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back through everything and just highlight. Also, you know, doing the eyes, and then we have like, so the Vexilla here has the banner. I just put the two colors and put there, so we have to get that guy. We have the crest on the Sergeant that will do. Proxy for a repulsor. Oh, it's like a Bradley Ivy. Yeah, it's cool. That's really cool. It's like the big turret and everything. Let's put a Bushmaster on it. Yeah, and I have the bases. Bases are printed, and they're I'm all set. I just need a place to put the bases before I prime them and paint them. But they'll take me an afternoon to paint. It's pretty quick painting these bases. This is just a normal guy here. Had a couple for examples down here. Yeah, Repulsor is a goofy mini. Yeah, the hover tanks are all kind of goofy. Oh man. Alright, well, instead of sitting here for half an hour waiting for some things to dry and then jumping back into things the last little bit, I think I am just going to call the stream there. I eat a lunch and take a nap, I think. I need a nap, guys. Share the link. Okay, cool. I will be on Sunday evening. So Sunday evening we'll be painting stuff. I might be finishing these guys. I might be doing something else. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And then, yeah, Monday. We'll say Monday at noon. That's tentative, Monday at noon. But Monday at noon, I'll let the Discord know. And yeah, we'll be doing Patreon chat. So if you're a member of Patreon, you can come hang out and just a voice chat with us. We hang out, and you know, if anybody wants to show up and chill, we'll do that. But yeah, if you're having trouble with the Gosu, let me know, and I'll try to figure it out. I'll try to figure out what's going on. But yeah, that's what we do Sunday, and then Tuesday through Thursday, I think back normal schedule, doing all that stuff. Back with another Commission Lost Star Wars minis next week, so it should be fun. But you guys have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you all Sunday night doing something fun. And Hetzer, you can put that link in like general or like 3D printing. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pull that up. All right. Bye, everybody.